which we'll watch while it doesn't do it. There we go. Oh no, couldn't be buffering. It quite happily comes down, pulls the stream down and starts to play back. And after 20 seconds, 30 seconds, there we go, in the top corner, it'll eventually kick into full screen. And that's another one of those clever little things that Martin's done here to get around the problem of a Flash plugin where you've got no real keyboard control over it. Essentially, there we go, he's able to work with it in a quite a unique manner and keep the stream going, maybe, and also get it to be full screen. I'll go back from there now. And the same thing's true as well in other channels. So we can go to the ITV2 channel, for example, and hit their live stream. And what's fantastic is if I'm away from work and I'm in a hotel room and I've got access to broadband, I can just start to watch TV. I don't need anything with me, I don't have to take it with me. And that's one of the real powers of add-ins. Without that ability, it's really difficult to keep Media Center flexible. And the flexibility of the add-ins really works. There's another cool feature that I think of that Martin's just released with TunerFree, and that's the ability to Twitter your content. And there's also a channel that is built up which is based on what people are twittering. Okay, and basically this listens to Twitter and pulls down information about what people are watching often, so you can start to have a social TV experience. And I personally think that's the way that a lot of IPTV is going to really go in the future. I think we're going to start to see applications that bring some sort of social aspect into TV, so that when you sat there in your home and you're watching TV, maybe you're not actually watching it alone, you're actually watching it with millions of other people, and everybody is able to comment on it and enjoy it at the same time. It's one of those things that Media Center does much better than most other ways of being able to enjoy your content. You can, because it's so customizable, you can write extra add-ins for it, you can bring other areas into your TV experience. And when you are watching TV on your PC, in front of your PC, or if you've got it in your lounge, it makes it really easy to do. So, what else is there about TunerFree that is useful and good? Well, one of the things that's always bugged me is that you can't easily get your radio channels in a nice way in the UK. We've always struggled with it, and TunerFree now actually does that, and it also integrates the Twitter channel into it as well. But I can quite happily, and I won't do because speakers are awful, but quite happily go in here and pick one of the UK radio stations and be able to listen to it. And the one final thing that I think is worth mentioning about TunerFree, that again I think Martin's done a fantastic job of this one, is he's built in the ability to use US VPNs. So one of the bugbears for everybody, I'm sure, is that it's a real pain that there's these great things that you hear about all the time on Hulu, and you can't get to it in the UK. It's annoyingly turned off due to IP restrictions and that kind of thing. And you can use TunerFree to actually get around that. If you pop in the details of a US VPN, then you can actually enjoy Hulu content in the UK as long as you've got a good quality VPN in the US. It can be a little bit painful if you've got a slow VPN over there. So that's kind of my experience of using TunerFree. Has anybody else got any experiences of TunerFree that they want to talk about?
Yeah, what's the streaming capability to an Xbox using it as a media extender? Do they have issues using that?
Yeah, it's a real... That isn't great, it has to be said, because all of the content from all of the major TV companies comes through as Flash, basically, which none of the extenders can deal with properly. So the only real way to do that is to download content, and then you can get that to stream onto your extenders.
Yeah.
It isn't a great solution, there's just no easy way around that. One fantastic idea would be if somebody out there created a Flash transcoder, so that we could take Flash, transcode it on the fly, and then pump it out to, I don't know, WMV or something that the end device could take. I don't suspect that anybody is going to be able to, any anybody that's got the ability to write those kind of things is actually going to do it because of the worries around infringing on the copy protection of Flash, and it'd be the same with Silverlight as well.
Actually, Simon, I showed something in the sneak peek session at the end of Remix last year I think it was by Mono, and they were looking at how do you get Silverlight when you've got a Flash back library, and they've actually got a Flash to WMV conversion on the fly, but I can't for the life of me remember what its availability was in terms of...
Yeah, it's pretty cool that. I know that there's a massive rack in the BBC that can do it. They've got some seriously big kit doing it.
We demoed it on a laptop, so on a single stream. So.
Yeah, it's got to be doable, and I think that the BBC actually transcode on the fly for streaming to Nokia devices, if I remember correctly. So there is some weird transcoding going on out there, but I don't think anybody's going to put that into our hands because essentially it's going to infringe on copy protection. So it's a bit of a sad case that, but hopefully, maybe somebody will come out with something.
Maybe it's just something to explore with expression encoded too as well. Actually, seeing as we can code onto that one as well. It's another piece of code to write.
It'd be nice. It would be. I think if anybody could come out with that, it would be a fantastic job, and the community around the world would receive that piece of work incredibly because that would be brilliant.
Martin's actually talked about doing transcoding in Juniper, but it's just been a bit restricted at the moment, so Paul can help him out.
I use the download as well quite often from BBC. Just download it to the videos folder and then pick it up from there. Because the nice thing about Windows 7 is it has the resume function for video playback, so you can pause it, resume it, and carry on from there.
What about Transcode 360? Will that do it?
It will from the downloaded content.
Yeah, not from the Flash.
Not from the Flash. Yeah, it really is a shame that they're all selecting to stream in Flash.
The Channel 4 used to be WMV, didn't it?
Yeah.
That worked fine.
Yeah, it really is a shame that they've started to do that. But an application like this, it just shows you the power of add-ins in Media Center, because Martin can go out there and create an excellent application like this, and then we're all actually able to consume that content again. And it just shows how flexible add-ins can be. Anyone else got any experiences of Tuner Free? Okay. How are we running on for time?
Yeah, okay, good.
Yeah. Shall we switch into the Media Center building add-ins?
Yeah. So what we're going to do now, we're going to have a look at how you can actually build these Media Center applications. So we've got 15 minutes to build Tuner Free MV.
Here you go.
No problem. Okay. Well, let me now introduce Andrew Cherry. Andrew is fellow Media Center MVP and top developer. So I will let him do his presentation. So where you go? You can use that, yeah.
Okay, tell me a bit about me before I start. I run a company called Digital Living Solutions based in Basingstoke. Specialise in digital home systems, so everything from installing this kind of gear through to audio visual systems based on Media Center, integration and also software development for Media Center. And it's the software development part that we're talking about today. I've been a Microsoft Most Valuable Professional since July 2007. And also what's called a community dev expert on the Media Center Sandbox, which is the website forums for Media Center developers run by Microsoft. And if anyone has any Media Center development related questions, that's where you can find me. Okay, the purpose of today's session, you'll have heard Ian when he started, Ian and Simon both talk about how developing Media Center add-ins has got a steep learning curve and it's really difficult and all this kind of stuff. One of the things I want to do is to remove the mystery that is associated with Media Center development, because it's really not that difficult. Now, I'm guessing that this is a largely non-development audience I'm talking to, so I'm going to keep it very high level. But to give you an idea of how things work, and hopefully if it gives you, the inspiration to actually pick up your computer and start thinking about add-ins, then all the better.